Well, howdy, y'all. Well, did you miss me? Go on and say I told you so. Yeah, now I know the straight life is a no-go. Yeah, I was wrong. I tried to get domesticated, but yesterday I finally couldn't take it, and I was gone. I probably should have told my wife, but the minute I saw the light, I just dug out my boots and threw out the fanny pack, sold the van and got my old Harley back, cranked up the bike and flew out the cul-de-sac, straight to the nearest bar. AC/DC on the jukebox, back in black. Got so drunk I was singing like a maniac. Smoked so much I about had a heart attack. So it's a fact, the rascal is back. They got back, I ain't gonna lie. I dressed up in a suit and tie, pulled out the driveway 7:45. Yeah, in the morning. She started having baby fever. She made me trade my Harley for a Kia. Oh, help me, Lord. I saw my reflection in the minivan and thought, this ain't who I am. So I dug out my boots and threw out the fanny pack, sold the van and got my old Harley back, cranked up the bike and flew out the...
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am out just above the town of Banff in Banff National Park. I am hoping to be spending a lot more time out here this chapter, at least here in the beginning months when it tends to quiet down a bit, which is funny to say because I'm out here filming this on a Saturday and it's very busy. People everywhere, not surprising. And also I get in my head about these shots that I want to get to open up vlogs and whatnot, completely forgetting that I'm at the mercy of nature and it's very windy today. So the microphone is actually hidden beneath my flannel and I did a little test shot and it seems to cut the wind fairly well. I don't have any of my dead kittens with me. I think I left them all in Grace. So that's what's happening right now. Welcome officially to Vanlife Plus Chapter 5. Very excited to start a brand new year here on the channel. I am really looking forward to it. And before we get to absolutely anything else, we need to address I'm gonna blame the wind, but also some things just simply never change. We need to address a fairly large cliffhanger that was left at the end of near the end of the Chapter 4 finale. Thank you for your services. Full down table. There's the wind. Hopefully it's working still. That thing, great. Very functional when it comes to just van life and living and wanting to cook outside, and also for artistic ass shots when you're vlogging your life. I already got off track. What I'm talking about, of course, is this hinge on the door. So I have not opened this door on Lucky since I filmed the Chapter 4 finale. So hang on, let's take a quick peek here. Grab my phone so I can pull up my calendar. So I filmed that, oh good gravy. I put that on there, literally a week ago. Okay, so 1 week ago, 7 whole days ago, I re-slathered some, hang on, I got a small bag of Coffee Crisp minis I gotta get out of my shot. A week ago, I slathered JB Weld on the hinge some more, and I have not opened the door since then. So we're gonna see here together for the first time if it worked or not. Let's get rid of everything that could possibly end up being in my way. Clips coming out of my ears. The ladders here, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm just going to gently pop the door open. There we go. That's the first time this door is even, you get it, I haven't opened my door yet. Moving right along. Get the ladder out of the way. Bring you out here, sir, here. There, enjoy the view of Banff. Don't say I don't take you anywhere. So that over here, so let's see. 1 week, JB Weld. I can't really get you much closer, so we're just gonna have to see on our, uh-oh. No way. Did it actually weld the door shut? I thought it was cleared. No. So in there is, if you're new around here and you don't know what's happening, well, make sure you're subscribed and that you have notifications turned on so you never miss a Vanlife Plus episode. Basically what had happened is these door hinges here on the second door, on the side of the van. This one was starting to come loose from the body, which is on the inside, and I JB welded it once lightly and it didn't work, and now here we are. So I thought this was going to go one of two ways, not this third way. I thought I was going to he was going to open it up and hey, miraculously, it worked and it's holding itself together. Or two, it would just immediately crack like it did the last time I did this. But now we got a stuck door situation. This is nicht gut. Huh. Well, there's a couple. Yes, it's windy. Camera, get your poop in a group. Couple ways I could play this. I could reef it open and see what happens. I have a feeling that's going to make it worse. Like, I don't actually need this door open, so maybe that's not a good idea, right? I can get the ladder in and out, but also, oh my God. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just going to leave it in there. I don't care because I think it's important to be transparent, especially when you're a complete dumbass. It was not JB welded. Ah, man. I'm going to leave all that in there. What had happened, I released this just a little bit, but it was still latched a bit, and then I was fighting against it. Penny, I know. It is what it is. Here we go. So there's my weld job. And, hey, the first option. It cracked right open again. All right, so JB Weld did not fix this problem. We can resolve that situation in the sense that the door is still broken. Quality content? Quality content. What is happening? Oh man, that's okay. It is what it is. We'll keep the door. We'll use it very minimally for now during this chapter. Who knows? Maybe chapter 5 we get it fixed. A lot of people told me I'd probably have to get it welded, although now there's a whole bunch of JB Weld in the way, so who bloody knows? It's not super important. This door, like I said, doesn't need to open often at all. That being said, it needs to open at least one more time right now. Come here, you. There we go. All right, well, that was a whole bunch of nonsense. Well, that's all right. Life is filled with nonsense. Ain't that the truth? All right, let's put these coffee crisps back over there. Those came from Bill in Old Denver. I guess he thought I didn't have enough snacks in the van, and I appreciate it. I still got these asses up here as well. Let's bring everything full circle. Did we say they were Swedish candies or Norwegian? I don't remember. Either way, they're little gummies covered in sugar and they tasty AF. All right, well, before I get on with my day out here in Banff, I just came out here just to spend the day, enjoy some of my freedom that my van life provides. That's the whole intention, just, go into this next chapter nice and easy with my head held high. Obviously, there's an elephant in the room and we need to talk about it. I've been thinking about it a lot, how I was going to say it. Bear with me. I'm going to try not to edit this too much, and I haven't been practicing it, but I'm going to try to explain myself as best as I can. There's also a very good chance the camera might get blown over because as pretty as this shot is, it's windy and you might topple. In that case, then I will have to edit it. But let's stop yapping about that and start yapping about the fact that I'm quitting van life. Now, before everybody gets up in arms and gets really worried about it, oh, hang on, I'm getting a phone call. Now we are going to have to edit this. Hang on. It's Brooklyn. I'll be right back. What is on your face?
It's makeup.
Oh, is it makeup? It looks like you ate a whole bunch of raspberries or something.
I am.
I am in the mountains. Where was I? Good news is the entire time I was on the phone, the camera didn't blow over. So hopefully all good things for our future here. But yes, I have been thinking about it for a long time. And what I was saying was before anybody gets too concerned, I'm not quitting van life right now. But I think it's important for me and my channel to be upfront and honest with my audience. I think you guys have earned that, and I would much rather be transparent when it comes to this and have you all sort of come along with me on this journey. I don't know when it's going to happen. It could be next week, it could be next month, it could be in a year from now, 2 years from now. I'm not sure. And the reason why is simply because the way I am approaching fatherhood and what I think will be best for my daughter is for her dad to have a sticks and bricks place in the city that we live in. And that's quite frankly it. That is it. There's always layers to things. Nobody is forcing me to do it. This is something that I genuinely believe that I want to do. And I actually am excited about the prospect of it. All that being said, it's not happening right now, but it is now my goal. When I started my van life here, it was to make staying in my daughter's life easier. I've told the story countless times. I'm not going to go into the whole thing and the entire rigmarole again right now. But now life has continued to march on, and my little girl is getting older, and things are changing. The whole dynamic of everything is changing. And well, I did believe, and I still do believe, that you could live this nomadic lifestyle and raise children. I think that is very dependent on the circumstances, for sure. And in my given circumstance, I don't believe that is the case. Now the wind's going to mess with me when it comes to my door. So that doesn't mean that I'm going to ever stop doing what I'm doing. And I think it's important for me to emphasize that. I'm sure a lot of people will be very concerned that that means that there won't be any more videos, there won't be any more vlogs. Again, rest assured, this is not something that is happening right away. And when it does happen, I will continue to film. Over the last year, the entirety of chapter 4, I really felt like my channel went from this like hyper focus on van life to more of a just general life vlog. And I love that people still enjoy watching that content, and I will absolutely continue to do that even when I go back to sticks and bricks, because I won't be getting rid of my van. I won't be getting rid of my Jeep. I would still be going on camping trips with my cousins and my friends. I would still be going out to see my family, and I would still be going out and doing solo trips and stuff to the mountains and the areas around me, because I've learned over the last 3 full years of van life how much amazing stuff there is just in your own backyard. There's no reason for me to not do that. In fact, I often say, and I've been saying for quite a few years, that just that I was so had my eyes open with all of this stuff that's around me and so close to home, I quickly made the realization, yeah, but you could do this stuff living in sticks and bricks. So there's no reason for me to not continue to do stuff like that, on top of bringing you along for the rest of, my daily life. Might not be every day, obviously, but doing stuff like building a home for myself and my kiddo. I'm stuff when I really stop to think about it, helping her build her own room in a place that we can call our own, and helping her decorate it and design it and get what she wants in there, and knowing that she has a space. I'm very excited for stuff like that. So again, for anybody who thinks that I would stop filming content, that is not the case at all. I'm very fortunate to have the incredible audience that I have. I am doing what I've wanted to do ever since I was a little boy, which is make movies, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. That being said, there's a lot of concern that comes along with a move like this, for sure, and I'm sure some people will think I'm probably making a huge mistake. And that's when it comes to the actual production of videos on YouTube, right? And I need to be as honest as I can with you guys, in the sense that, of course, it is absolutely scary to think that by changing this one thing about my content could potentially run the risk of, losing everything that I've worked so hard to achieve. And that may very well be the case. But I never started my YouTube channel and my van life to allow the content to dictate where my life goes. Another way of saying that is that I'm not going to force myself to continue to do full-time van life simply because I think that's what I need to do in order to maintain a YouTube channel. I will always do, first and foremost, what I believe is right for my daughter and myself. And if that means that the channel slips off a bit and viewership drops and the revenue that I make from the videos that I put out drops, so be it. I will then, we'll go find another job, right? And I will supplement income any way I can, because again, the most important thing is that I'm doing what is right for myself and my kiddo. There's no other way for me to really say that. And I don't want to keep saying it because I kind of feel like it's beating a dead horse to a certain extent. But I think it's very important to make sure that you're not simply doing content just because you're afraid of losing things. This is a great place to sit and do this. Shush you! Just don't break, okay? Because I can't JB weld you back to shape. My goodness. So, yes, and to be honest, I am very scared. It's very nerve-wracking that might happen, but I will roll with it. That will be life, and that will be the next step, and I will figure it out as I have been doing for the last 4 chapters of my van life journey here on YouTube. I am going to change the angle now because I'm getting a little cold with this wind. Let's go inside the good ship Lucky, shall we? Welcome to my tiny home on wheels. Y'all have been here before. How is she right now? Yeah, she's a little messy. I'll get to that. I've been doing my best to keep it as tidy as I possibly can. Anyway, this is the warmest spot in the van right now, facing the sun without having to turn the diesel heater on. So we'll just continue to chat right here if that's okay with everybody. So yeah, it's a big deal for sure. It's not lost on me that I don't want to repeat myself. It's like I said, I didn't really rehearse any of this. It's just what's on my mind, and I put a lot of value in being transparent about this stuff, right? Now, obviously, we're going to be like, oh, you just did this for clickbait. Sure, maybe I did, but I'd rather it just be all out there and know that when it comes time on the channel, for the most part, everybody will understand that, no, this has been in the works. It's also good to, share the goals that you have. So it'll help me stay focused on achieving those goals, right? This isn't a goal that I think I would let slip by very easily. I feel very strongly about this. And it is definitely the course that I want my life to take. And I've been talking about this fairly candidly on my live stream, so a lot of people are already aware that this has been on my mind. I just wanted to put it out here for the entire channel and community to know and understand that this is what's going on. And no, I'll reiterate again, I will continue to pump out the content. I thoroughly enjoy filming it. Somebody made the comment, oh yeah, I'd watch Matthew struggle to put together an IKEA bed. I take issue with the fact that you think I would struggle with it, but on the other hand, you're probably not wrong, so there's that. But there's so many things that I could still film and, showcase. I love making movies. I love doing daily talking vlogs about just like the basic stuff about what's going on, day in the life stuff. Plus, obviously, I like getting out and leading into my photography background and capturing beautiful images and sharing them here on YouTube. It's not something I would just simply ever straight up walk away from. Was never my plan, probably never would be my plan. Probably gonna have to peel the camera out of my cold, dead hands, if I'm being honest. And I'm sure there will be a lot of suggestions from people because it's already happened when I've briefly mentioned this in previous vlogs about, well, you could just, why don't you just buy a plot of land and put your van on it and do this or do a tiny home. All that stuff is great and that's cool. I really don't think that's my jam, as they say. Maybe in the future, I don't know. But for me, it'll definitely start with renting an apartment in the city, just simply because that will be the easiest way to transition back into sticks and bricks and keep my schedule with my little girl the same. And then also discover new ways of like us having our relationship, right? So while I appreciate those sorts of suggestions and whatnot, that's not it. Like, I'm not going to it doesn't matter. It's not going to be that way. There's no point in me continuing to like overthink those suggestions or argue against them or anything like that. That will be the first step for that journey back to sticks and bricks will be an apartment in the city, because that's honestly all I can afford. And that's another reason why, again, everybody here who's very concerned about this happening too soon, stuff is still vastly overpriced. I still have stuff to take care of in terms of, paying off debt and whatnot. So it's not like I can flip a switch, go back tomorrow. I've looked at money and I've looked at budgeting, and it's going to cost about probably $2,000 a month And that's that's one of the more affordable options out there. And by the time it rolls around that I start like really seriously looking and going and looking at places, it could even be more expensive. I don't know. So that's a huge consideration I have to take into play, because I've talked about that my entire van life, that it's just it's like, well, not too, well, yeah, it's too expensive. Honestly, it's too expensive, but we'll go with so expensive to rent or buy or whatever these days. And that hasn't changed, right? But what has changed is where I'm at in my life and what I can afford to finally do on my own. And it's very important to me that I can do this on my own for myself and my kiddo. And so that's why it is my goal to do that for us. When it comes to like what little things like changing the name of the channel, that stuff I don't know. I'm sure there's going to be lots of questions that people will have. The one thing I can say about changing the channel name is obviously I've thought about that. I don't know if I would. Vanlife Plus still works. I will still be going out on adventures in Lucky. I just won't be living in the van full time at that moment. You know what I mean? If changing the name of the channel makes the most sense, I will look into it. I've also heard horror stories of channels that have been monetized and successful that have done that and lose their certification and have to start all over again. Not something I really want to mess with when I make a huge life change like that either, right? So there's lots of stuff to take into consideration. Also, one thing, like obviously when I was first sort of having this idea about maybe this is where I need to start aiming the trajectory of my life, at the forefront of that, I was like, well, that's it. I'm out. I'm quitting van life, and I'm going back to sticks and bricks, and that's it. Which I had to take a minute and realize, well, that's silly. I can always go back to van life. Like it's not like that ever comes off the table. I enjoy this lifestyle. We talk a lot about my next rig and what it could be, and I've been very open and honest in the sense that eventually, whatever that is, I definitely want something with a higher roof, right? I had back surgery. I still suffer, or I shouldn't say suffer. Let everybody just calm down. But I still deal with a lot of pain almost every day, and having the room to move around would be nice. So again, we're getting off track. Like next rig, that's definitely on the back burner. Lucky and Grace will still suffice more than enough for what I want to do and continue to do. So yeah, I don't know if there was anything else I particularly wanted to put out there. Probably, like I said, I didn't rehearse anything, but I was putting a lot of thought into it, and I knew I wanted to address this, and this. I don't know. I know during those live streams when I talked about it, lots of people were showing support that they would be completely fine if I moved back to Sticks and Bricks and is still putting out video content, they would happily watch it. And that's what's really important to me, and that sort of goes back to that, how I felt the channel sort of shifted and became this daily vlog and not just about the fact that I live in the van. Because honestly, if people are out there, and this is just my opinion, but if you're out there and you're saying to yourself, well, I'm not going to watch Vanlife Plus anymore if he moves back to Sticks and Bricks, that's fine. That's completely well within your right. Nobody's going to give you a hard time. Other than to say, if you were only watching me, of all people, only because I live in a van full time, it's a really weird hill to die on, because there's so many other van life channels out there that take you on these crazy adventures and show you places, and I've never really truly done that to that extent. And I kind of think it's the community and my shenanigans that have become the staple around here, right? I don't ever want to stop the DIY stuff. I don't ever want to stop the camping videos that I do. So that's become a staple of my life, not just the channel. And I hope a lot of people understand that outside of the channel, and as much as I show you guys, there's still a lot going on in my life, but the stuff that I've shared here with you that I wasn't doing before I was making these YouTube videos has become very near and dear to my heart, and that's not going anywhere. Okay. Well, now that we got that matzo ball out of the way, for the most part, I say we just enjoy the day, focus on the fact that Chapter 5 has just begun. I still, at this point, very much do live in the van, full-time, will be for quite a while. And I say we move on with this gorgeous day, get our butts down to the town of Banff, and see what sort of shenanigans we can get up to. Nothing crazy, just sort of want to walk around. There's a couple things I need to pick up. But in the words of my daughter, tally freaking ho! It's actually not that bad in terms of people out here compared to what it can be at the height of it. This is a touristy town for sure, and it actually flies in the face of what I prefer. Like, I am a bit of an introvert. Places can absolutely be too people-y for me, but for some unexplained reason, probably because it's a magical mountain town, this place I'm okay with. Even when it is chock full of people. It's just, I've told the story here on the channel lots. I just talked about the first time I came out here actually fairly recently, and how I came to finally come out here in the year of 2013 of all years for the very first time, having lived in Calgary my entire life. And I fell in love with it immediately. And I spent a lot of time out here actually back in chapter 3 here on the channel. That was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to doing it again. Don't know how much I'll capture in terms of the town itself and whatnot, but just you can just enjoy it in the background while I'm walking around yapping at my phone as I usually do. And yeah, this chapter is titled Captain, and of course, just like the last chapter, we will get to the actual reasons why. There will be more storytelling. There's something I want to share with everybody here, and it will be, the entirety of the channel. But ultimately, it comes down to the fact that it's important, I believe it's important, to take control of your own life. Maintain control over your own life for yourself, to, not allow negativity to take over your life. And I have done that so far. And obviously thinking about doing it again in a different way, going back to sticks and bricks. Unfortunately, now that I was yapping at my camera while driving up Main Street in Banff, otherwise known as Banff Ave, I've missed my turn. I meant to be able to turn right here, and I'm in the left-hand lane. So now we're going to have to do a little bit of an about face, unless, of course, there is parking available at the lot just over yonder. Let's find out, shall we? Ooh, but before that, check it out. That guy's got a scout camper on top. Well done, sir. Talked about those a lot here on the channel as well. Again, you never know what the future might hold. Those are good-looking campers. All right, so coming around here. Oh, yeah, right. You can already see the parking lot over here. Now it's going to be a lot of... Oh, there's 15-minute parking right here. Probably need a little bit longer than that. Yeah, that parking lot there looks a little full. Hey! Haha, good-looking red dude. He's doing the same thing I'm doing. Holding his phone up while he's driving. We're both such rebels and so dangerous. All right, let's turn here. Oh, but yeah, that lot looks like it's not going to be very conducive to Lucky's rather large rear end. Not with the way those people are parked. All right, so we're going to have to do a whole loop around the block and see if there's parking over near the park there. Why is it so dark in here right now? What's going on? That didn't help at all. Maybe it's not as dark as I think. The brightness on my screen was down a little bit. Yeah, this definitely wasn't the best time to rip out here in only Lucky. Had I brought in the entire rig, I don't have Grace with me, could have parked Lucky somewhere up on the hill and driven Grace down. Would have made this whole thing a little bit easier. Not super easier, but a little bit. What the hell are you guys doing? Oh, it must be recycling day in Banff. Interesting. All right, well, the hunt continues. Ooh, there's a new Italian restaurant here called Lupo. Wonder when that opened. It's definitely new. I'll have to put that on the docket to try at some point. Not today, but Lupo, Italian restaurant, Banff. Anybody had it? Is it any good? Or should I save myself the trouble? Let me know. I'm still looking for parking. There's a parking lot here by these public washrooms, and it is chock full as well. Ooh, ooh. Oh, this guy's gonna take it. You! I don't blame you. Well, there's also, if I can, oh no, that's a fire hydrant. Oh, I wonder if I can just, oh no, there's a no parking sign. Yo, what? Oh, yeah, no, sure, go ahead. And there's also parking down here by the river, but I've never seen an open spot down here, so. Now what? Can you tell that I just kind of woke up and decided to do this morning? There was no real planning involved. I mean, even if there was planning involved, it still would have been like this. I suppose I could have waited until after the weekend, taken a couple more days off from filming. But honestly, I'm filming this the day after the Chapter 4 finale, because I hadn't filmed for quite a few days, and I wanted to like get back in the swing of it. I'm also planning on going back to a more of a every other day schedule, at least for this month of November, so just be aware of that. I'll figure it out. I don't really need to like go into the town. There's like one thing I wanted to go look at a little gift shop there, which Banff's got a few gift shops. If I can find a spot, I will do that, but I also just need to stop at the grocery store because I'm out of garbage bags. I could wait till I'm back in Calgary to get them, but park there, that's not so bad. Why are all the parking spots that I'm finding on the other side of the street? Lucky's large, I can't turn around like that. Grace, where are you? There's also a parkade over there. I actually think that's free. No, it's not free parking. It used to be, but it's not anymore. Lucky definitely wouldn't fit in there. And that's handicap parking. Quality content. Well, this, if I can... Oh, why did I need to turn around and come back up this way. Although there's also 15-minute parking. That would be fine. Oh, darn it, I'm in the wrong lane. I'm going to do this. Really piss people off. Now we're going to go like this. Aha! I got to figure it out. All right. Found something. Bow time! It's only for 15 minutes though, so we got to make this quick. Behave yourself, Lucky. We will be right back. Okay, well, obviously I had to get that. I've talked about this on the channel before, how hard it is to find little novelty items with Brooklyn's name on it. So finding that in there, obviously that's not the reason I went in there. That was just a nice get. This is why I actually went in there. Can I get this off without it? Yep, don't need the Leatherman for that. So sometimes people ask me, yo, why you wear a ring on your thumb? And why not? There's no reason for it. I just do it. I also know that sometimes it bugs the hell out of people, which I find very entertaining. So here we go. Welcome to Vanlife Plus Chapter 5, signifying the beginning of the chapter with a new thumb ring. It's just for you. All right, let's find a place to, we got to put that sticker on Lucky's rear end, obviously, but we got to move out of here because, well, we don't want to get a ticket. I don't think it's been 15 minutes yet, but away we go. Oh yeah, I forgot I need to stop at the grocery store, which is just up here. Again, I don't know what parking's going to be like for this bloody place. Oh, look, off the left. There, now it's kind of like Grace is with us. I mean, not really. That's a 2024 with a colored matched fender, but... Oh, I think there's some... Is this 15-minute parking? Oh, it is! Excellent! Speaking of parking, Grace is just parked back in the city right now. I didn't feel like hauling her out here for the day. Sounded like way too much stress for Lucky for no reason. Garbage bags in Banff. Empty. Not anymore. Ended up nabbing 2 boxes of these because they're on a scene points deal. And I've actually been finding that my scene points come in handy shopping at Safeway as much as I do. How's it going, guys? You're standing outside your tiny home on wheels talking to yourself effectively. Make sure you say hi to the passerby so they don't think you're just a total loon. Hello, co-pilot. How you doing? Good talk. All right. Well, it is a little busy here today. I don't really need anything. It's only the first video of the start of a whole new year here on Vanlife Plus. So I guess I can bugger off for now. Don't need to do any more adventuring around in the town itself, but we'll still go find a spot to put that sticker on Lucky's rear end before we point a good ship Lucky back towards the city of Calgary. On the list. This is as good a place as any. Just pull down here to the Vermilion Lakes. You can see how windy it is out there on the water. What are you talking about? What's the matter with you, huh? What's the matter? You know? You need some treats? Yeah, probably. We'll put that on the docket. But first, let's come back here, turn on the house lights. There we go. We're going to go outside and we're going to clean off a spot to put that sticker. But first, let's make us some ice in our EcoFlow Glacier because I want to try some Revita tea, the mango mixed with the new apple pear flavor. I've got them right here. Just placed an order the other day and it arrived at the Upis store. So there we go. I want to try them mixed together and they are delicious. That leads me to assume they'd be quite tasty together. All right, what do we need? We need a little bit of paper towel. We need our vinegar. We need to exit stage whatever, come back here to Lucky's rear end and see if we can find a spot for our new Brooklyn sticker. We could put it right above this Banff one, although, you know what? In the interest of moving on and keeping my window nice and clean, that sucker's coming off. Which means we need to get an X-Acto knife or some sort of thin blade to remove that sucker. Hello, Penny's Catio. Push all the pillows further onto the bed so they don't fall on the ground. Story of my life. Bring the Catio out. Sit there for a second. Now, do I have a knife in my tool roll? That's the question. Oof, don't put it in the mud. No, that would just have been smart. It's not here. That sucks. That's too bad. It's somewhere, but I don't know where. This is just a testament to me needing to continue my never-ending journey of organizing my tiny home on wheels. So, for now, you get a stay of execution, old Banff sticker. Enjoy it. Push this back in. Go. Latch it. This back up here. Stay. And the tool roll can go back. vinegar, the absolute clean all. It's squeaky. That's how you know it's working. All right. Whoop. Well, I guess that's where it's going. Its legs grabbed, and now it's on there. Ha! Oh, I love that sticker. That looks so cool. Two of my most favorite things. The colors are awesome as well. Nice. All right, there you go. The Brooklyn Banff, Canada sticker to signify the beginning of Chapter 5 and a return to hanging out in this absolutely beautiful place. My ice ready yet? Hey, Penny. How many minutes are left on the ice? 8 minutes. Well, that's just a perfect amount of time to give you some treats, eh? Probably. All right, so under here. There we go. Is that what you want? Yeah, you want some of those? All right, here we go. You ready, Freddy? There we go. Up here. Excuse me. Good girl. Good girl. On my finger to treat you. There you go. Good putty tat. I've also had her wet food bowl soaking in vinegar on the drive out here, so now it's nice and easy to clean. Gonna go dotting your bowl, because once again, spick and span. But sorry, it's not dinner time yet. You're still gonna have to wait a bit. Okay, and we got some ice. Excellent. All right, I believe my Yeti mug is in Grace, so we're gonna use the live stream mug that I got from Kevin. Thank you again, sir. Is it clean? That'll do. I don't think this is gonna take both of these, so we're gonna have to half and half it. And a mango. Whoa, no! Well, that's Revita abuse. It happens to the best of us. I've been drinking the pear one so much, forgot how delicious the mango is. Still my number one, now my number two. Peach is a solid third. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see how these flavors mingle with one another. Not a lot of room in there. After all that ice. Ooh, that's better than I thought it would be. I thought it was going to end up being like bland or I don't know what. Oh, that's tasty. You know what that tastes like? Mangoes, apples, and pears. I don't know what I was expecting, but they complement each other very well. Oh, where are my glasses? Don't forget those. Lights out. Oh, and really, there's only one thing left to do. Well, we're down here. It's time. We are gathered here today to bid a fond farewell to a very close friend. A friend who has had our backs through the good times and the bad. A friend who has always been there for us. We will miss you greatly, but take solace in the fact that you have more than earned your rest. Thank you for your service. Thank you very much to Francis for sending me a new pee bottle. You sure know how to show a guy a good time. Talk about celebrating the start of a new chapter. Welcome. Make yourself comfortable. It's been a while since I've been here. It's been even longer since I've been here with Lucky. Last time I stopped here was last winter when I was commuting back and forth with Grace between Calgary and New Denver. And the last time the good ship Lucky was here, well, let's just say she was a little bit more naked than she is now. Come a long way for sure, and in many ways, this is the spot where my van life sort of started. So it's nice to stop here and remember that every once in a while. Just on my way back to the city now, and I gotta wrap this entry of the vlog up, this first episode of Chapter 5. But one more thing I want to talk about that will hopefully help me stay a little bit more focused. With the modicum of success that I have had, modicum? Is that a word? I'm going with it. With the bit of success that I've had here on YouTube, I sure haven't been as responsible as I could have been when it comes to my money and saving it and putting it towards stuff, right? I haven't been atrocious or anything, but I've definitely allowed that success to go to my head more often than not, and more than I would like to. And it's pretty evident. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know that I'm a bit of a creature of habit when it comes to certain things. And I've talked about in the past how it was the last time I was going to do it, and I made big deals out of it on previous entries in the vlog. But I've never stuck to my guns. And that's because I got a little bit of an addictive personality. And it just so happens that they know how to market themselves so well that it speaks to that side of me. And I felt like I've been at their whim a little bit, which is nonsense because the onus is all on me. I am a strong, independent man, and I can make the choices to either continue down the path that I've been on or make a change based on the fact of how serious I am about wanting to aim for sticks and bricks, make it a goal to get myself into an apartment for myself and my little girl. And everything has to start with a single small step. And this, nothing against them, but this is my small step towards that. Well, it's been a wild ride, but it's time to say goodbye. And this is the only way I know to make sure I stick to my guns. No more automatic stuff showing up in my feed. Thank you for your service. Which is kind of a funny thing to say to a company that I've been supporting very well for the last couple years. But yeah, and there's actually, I'm going to have to unfollow .com and .au. But I have used up all of my high-speed data for the month, which has never happened before, and I'm actually on throttled speeds right now. So it took about 5 minutes to load that Dixon page. I don't think I can even pull up another one in any sort of timely fashion. Let's see. That's going to take a minute, so I'll do that. And it's time to move right along. It might seem like a silly thing, and it kind of is at the end of the day, but like I said, you do have to start small, start somewhere, and the last thing I need to be doing is purchasing myself any more flannels. Start with that and see how everything else goes. So that's my goal this chapter. Rein myself in a little bit more, try harder to stay focused on my future and my goals, and ultimately get myself back into a sticks and bricks. And that's going to be the journey and the goals here for Chapter 5 of Vanlife Plus. I hope you stick around. I hope you come on this journey with me. I promise I will continue to make the content that I have been making. And yeah, what else can I say? Welcome to Chapter 5 of Vanlife Plus. Who knows what's going to happen? Until the next one, just go out there, be happy, be creative, be yourselves. Most importantly, be positive. But remember that you can't make everybody happy, because you're not tacos.
Straight to the nearest bar. AC/DC on the jukebox, back in black. Got so drunk I singing like a maniac. Smoked so much I about had a heart attack. I woke up in someone's yard. The rascal is back.
Put your back to it. Put your back to it. Maybe that helps. I don't really know. This might not work. Oh my God. And there's my tripod blown the F over. I just can't believe it took me that long to notice. Unbelievable. Ugh. That is some wind. Good gravy. This is the behind the scenes what it's like when I'm testing shit and it's guerrilla style.
Like a black cat so drunk, a singing like a maniac. Smoked so much, about had a heart attack. So hang on to your hats. The rascal is back.